Welcome to the Fermented Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Anna, and on this channel, I'm sharing our journey of learning how to turn our home into a homestead. Today, we are on day number 6 of our sourdough learning adventures. And so today we're going to be making some naan, and I'm also going to be conditioning this cast iron pan that got completely wrecked in the move. And I have one cast iron pan that I have successfully conditioned. I think it's got like 1 or 2 more layers that could be thrown on there, but overall this thing actually looked worse than that one. So I'm pretty confident in my restoration skills. Let's get making some naan. The naan is actually a sourdough discard recipe, so it's something that you can make up with just extra discard that you have, and it should be super simple. It's basically just mixing the ingredients together and letting it rest for about 8 hours, depending on the temperature of your room. So let's get to mixing so we can get this thing fermenting. I have my bowl here, got my scale. We're gonna hit the tear button. I'm gonna link this recipe down below. It's from littlespoonfarm.com. But, so we need 125 grams of sourdough starter, and it says unfed sourdough starter, discard, basically. There we go. And it says to mix all the wet ingredients first. So we need half a cup of milk, or 120 grams. I have some raw milk yogurt, so I'm just gonna use that. 60 grams, tablespoon or 15 grams of olive oil, and then 2.5 cups or 300 grams of AP flour. Oh, hit the tear button, Anna. Seven grams, it says sea salt, but I'm using this. I think we need a little more flour. It says it's supposed to be stiff. I think that's good. Just that little bit of flour really helped. So then we're going to cover this with plastic and leave it to ferment at room temperature for 8 hours. It's 10 o'clock right now, so at about 6 o'clock, we'll start working on this. Maybe a little bit sooner, kind of depends. You're waiting for it to double in size. We are ready to actually work on that bad boy right there. It has a bunch of crap in it. It has a bunch of like loose rust pieces that have just been chewed off by the rust. So we're gonna rinse this off real quick, just like literally a rinse, and maybe just wipe it off with a sponge. So it looks a lot better. The wet makes it look better, but it's still super rusty. I'm using the same stuff that I used for the other one that is actually still conditioning in the oven. So all it is it's a mixture of half vinegar, half water. It took about a gallon of each. So what's that, like maybe $2, maybe $3 these days worth of vinegar. And so we're just gonna put it in here and let the vinegar do its thing. Last time it bubbled really good, so I'll see if it'll do it again. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see there's like a layer of like bubbles and even some scum that's kind of risen to the top here. You can see the bubbles here. I hope you guys can see. There's a bunch of bubbles. It almost looks like you poured soda water in there. So let's go take this to the sink and we'll scrub this guy up. If you're doing more than one pan, you can save vinegar. I just did, and it worked out just fine. I wasn't sure about it, but it worked. Put this in the sink here. We're gonna sprinkle it with a good portion of baking soda to kind of, I guess, counter it, from what I saw, to counteract the vinegar. Sprinkle it all over. Then take some kind of a scrubby. I'm gonna use this steel scrubber and just kind of give it a good wash. Okay, now we're just gonna go ahead and heat this up on the stove to dry it off completely. Give it a good rinse. Okay, there we go. Pan's all dry. From what I'm going based on the directions from, I think it was Joshua Weissman. I think that's how it's pronounced. And it worked really well for the last one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just wipe it out. He said if you get some little rust pieces, don't stress it. So we're gonna take about a tablespoon of, I have vegetable oil. You wanna use something that intentionally has a low smoke point because you are changing the chemical makeup of this oil by heating it up so hot for so long that it's actually going to change to something else. And if you don't use something with a low smoke point, you're not going to have that chemical reaction. So just fight your urges and use something that has a low smoke point just for this part of the process. So we got it on there. And you want to use it when you're rubbing it in. You want to use it when the oil or when the pan is warm because the pores are open and it will accept the oil much better. So we're just going to rub it in and then take it off, inside and outside. Just get it all, rub it in all over every little crack and cranny, crevice. Get it all over. Any part that you miss will rust. Will, not can, will. Okay. And the idea is you want to put it on and take it off. You don't want to leave any excess oil on here. Because it will, it'll make it kind of sticky and it won't do what it's supposed to do. Fresh cloth, wipe it off. We're gonna put it in an oven, in a cold oven. Turn this guy upside down over a piece of tin foil or a cooking sheet or cookie sheet or something and heat it up to 500 degrees. And then once it hits the 500 degrees, you're gonna set a timer for 1 hour. It looks like our naan is ready. It's 5:16. If anything, it's just been a long time and we're ready to start making the naan. So the recipe did say that if your sourdough starter is new or weak, it might not rise quite as much as it would if it was a strong established starter. So we'll just kind of see how things go. Okay, so we do have, I forgot the pan was in the oven. I set a timer on my phone and I don't remember it going off. That's the coffee pot, that's not the timer on my phone. I don't remember it going off, so it was probably in there for a couple hours at least. Okay, so this is the pan we're actually gonna cook the naan in. That was not the best plan in the world. Okay. So check out this guy here. This is one coat. Let's get a better lighting. Anyways, it's really good. After one coating, this is fantastic. So we're gonna do this probably, that has 5 coats on it. So we'll probably do 5, honestly. And we'll see how it goes. Basically with the pan, we're just gonna do exactly what we just did 4 more times. Also with this, the preferred oil is flax oil, and that has a very low smoke point, and for some reason, it's just the preferred oil. I had it, but I think I got rid of it when we moved. I bought it for this purpose. Back on for another hour. We're gonna take the next step with the naan. It says to turn this out onto the work surface. I have a feeling we should probably use flour. Okay. So just a little flour, and then we're gonna take this out of the bowl scraper. I'm not sure where it is, so we get to use this. So it says to separate these into 8 equal pieces with a bench scraper. I probably could have put a little bit more flour in these when I was mixing them. Note for next time. They're still good, they're just a little bit tacky. So then we're gonna turn them under, turn them into balls. All right, so we're just gonna let these rest for probably like 10 minutes, and then we'll be ready to cook them off. We're gonna cover them up and let them rest. So while these are proofing, we're gonna go ahead and I'm actually gonna make for tomorrow. I have 3 recipes coming up for tomorrow. 2 of them are repeats and 1 of them is not. So the one that's not is actually a discard recipe. But this one, we're gonna go ahead, I'm actually gonna remake the bialys and the garlic bites. The garlic bites were amazing and we want more of them. And then the bialys, I think I have enough information that I can actually fix it. We're just doing the garlic bites first. We're gonna get it mixing. I am. All right, so I don't know how well this pan is gonna work out, but we're gonna give it a try because it is just freshly done. Lightly floured surface. We're just gonna roll it out. And if you wanna not have like a square, if you'd rather have a circle, kind of just turn it in when you're doing it. Don't go all the way to the edge. You're just gonna kind of roll it here, see? And then turn it 1/8 of a turn, not 1/4 of a turn. I don't do it perfect every time, but if you do that correctly, you will get a fairly good sized circle. Or a good shaped circle, whatever. You know what I'm saying. Okay, this pan is not ready to cook in, I don't think. Darn it. Okay, so the recipe does say that you don't need to flour your, or that you don't need to oil your pan, but this is a freshly conditioned cast iron, and I just found out I should by not doing it. I'm buttering my pan with ghee. Let it cook on medium heat. I had the temperature too high and it just like instantly seared the dough. So, lesson learned. I don't cook with cast iron terribly much, which is why I had to look up a video on how to condition it. All right, so you cook it twice. You cook it on both sides. And then you're supposed to flip it back to the other side, and that's when it's supposed to puff up. Let's see what happens. It's not puffing up. All right, so that one's not gonna puff up. Just a hair above medium heat. So you're supposed to set this for 2 minutes. Still gonna give this a taste. Oh gosh, that's good.
Perfect.
You like
It's
it?
perfect. Yeah, it's perfect.
I like it a lot.
Sourdough naan. You know what's missing?
Curry?
Butter.
Oh, butter would be good. There's ghee right there, but butter's right. Oh, there's some more butter over there.
Butter. I would highly suggest this. A whole lot. But of course I like naan, so.
There you go.
Naan, yes.
Some butter naan.
I'm gonna put this curry on top.
And some canned curry. Go ahead.
All right, got it on the side just like that. She hooked me up with the dinner type food. I'm gonna go sit down and eat this.
So this is definitely a winner of a recipe. Super easy. You can just make it when you wake up in the morning. It'll be ready for you when you get home, and it just cooks up super duper fast. So it's hubby approved. I enjoy it. So this is definitely a winner of a recipe. We're gonna remake a batch of some of the bialys, and I think I know how I'm gonna fix it. So we'll just briefly cover how I'm gonna fix it. And he's a happy camper right now. So I'll bring you back here in just a little bit and I'll share with you what I'm doing to fix the bialys. And hopefully when we bake it off tomorrow for attempt number 3, we'll actually get a good bialy. So it's been forever and I just, I got lost playing on my phone. So, so basically we're gonna go ahead and get started on trying these, trying these bialys. So the one feedback that I got on this the most was that the dough is too wet. And Heather from Sage and Stone Homestead, she made them successfully. I think one time she added more flour and one time she reduced the water. So she said she used 300 grams of water instead of 375. So we're gonna start there, mix it all up, and then see if we need to add more flour to it. So let's do this. All right, so it's actually been a couple of days and I've gotten, I think, 3 coats on this pan. And you can definitely see it is significantly better than it was before. I hope you can see it as well in the camera as you can see it in person. There's a couple little spots because that's just spots that it had rested on, like little crumbs or whatnot. So this is, I would definitely call this one a success. I'm gonna do 2 more coats on it. I've just been super busy the last couple days. We went and harvested a bunch of apples. We harvested a bunch of pears and just doing a whole bunch of stuff. So that's actually gonna get finished off here today because I need to make something in it. So I hope that you guys are enjoying all the sourdough content coming to you guys all month long, both from my channel as well as from all the other channels that are taking part in the Fall into Sourdough collaboration. So far there has been a ton of amazing videos in the collaboration. We've had some sourdough boules, we had some breadsticks, we've had waffles, crepes, all kinds of different things in this collaboration. I know that there is a ton more stuff coming. If you guys are wanting to learn how to make sourdough, this is definitely the right time to be watching this collaboration. There's a ton of knowledge coming at you guys every single day from all the different contributors in the collaboration, so I hope that you guys are enjoying and following along. If you guys are new around here, we just moved to our 30-acre homestead in southern Missouri, and I'm sharing with you all the things that we're doing to turn our home into a homestead. Most of that is in the kitchen with canning, freezing, dehydrating, and fermenting, as well as sharing with you how you can use that preserved food in your everyday cooking. If that sounds awesome to you, click this button right here. This is the subscribe button. This is what tells YouTube you want to come back here. Up here is a video that Mr. Google Pants thinks that you're going to enjoy. If you got FOMO and you want to know what we did yesterday, just click this right here and that'll tell you. And then up here is the Sourdough for Normies playlist. That's just my sourdough recipes for the month of September. I hope that you guys will follow along with that, as well as the Fall into Sourdough collaboration that everybody is taking part in. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.